Welcome to the second episode of my PC flipping series. This episode I'm going to be cleaning out a dusty computer and upgrading it to give it the boost it needs to sell quickly so I can make some nice profit. If you're new here, I'm Jack. I've been flipping computers for 9 months now and I've amassed hundreds of hours of experience and knowledge. I started the series to show you how I make money flipping computers so you can replicate what I do. If you want to watch episode 1, you can, but it's not a necessity because it was mostly just a background information focused video. There's not much else I have to say, so I'm just going to get right into the video. So I've made a couple changes since the last episode. I've done a couple things which I didn't record. The H7 flow build that I had right there, which I said was temporary in the last video, I took that apart and I separated all the parts out and I'm reusing them in various different builds at this point. I'm actually going to be mixing and matching some of the parts from that build which I just mentioned and another build which I showed in the last video, which has a 6800 XT and a 3700X. But the first thing I need to do is to clean out this computer because it's super dusty, so I'm going to cut to that. So now that I've got that computer dusted out, what I need to do next is to actually swap out some of the parts for some parts that'll hopefully make it easier to sell. And I've actually already done this because I'm recording this in the future, but unfortunately I didn't have my tripod at that point, so the setup was kind of weird to record it. But I'm going to put a quick little time lapse up of the build footage. So now the build's finished. There's one more thing I've got to do, which is just to add a GPU support brace underneath the graphics card because it does have a lot of sag, and that's just not something I'm really happy with. So I bought a little $6 support bracket to put underneath the card. What I'm going to do now is take some really nice pictures. I'm going to put them right here, and then I'm going to do some benchmarks and see how it performs, make sure it's all working good, and ready for a customer to play games on. My usual test suite is one game of Warzone, Apex, Halo, and Fortnite, and I'll test them at 1080p, 1440p, and 4K. But honestly, for this build, just like the last one I did, I think 1440p is the sweet spot. The 3080 is a really nice 1440p card, so that's really the kind of buyer that I'm going to be targeting with this build, is someone who's looking to play in 1440. And something I used to do, which I'd just like to mention now, is that I used to test it in a ton of different games, and I honestly don't even think that's worth it anymore. And really, most people are only looking for a couple games, mainly Fortnite, especially if you're doing low budget builds like $400 or so. All you really need to test is Fortnite, Apex, and maybe even Warzone if you've got a pretty capable combination of CPU and GPU in that build. In my experience, those are the only benchmarks that really even matter. And I just don't waste my time anymore benchmarking any other games because it doesn't really make a difference in the listing's performance from my experience. But I know you're probably interested to see how these parts actually perform, so I recorded my benchmarks and I'm going to show them to you right now. Well, as you can see, these parts make a great pairing for 1440p gaming. So now I'm going to list this computer. I've already got the photos, benchmarks, and descriptions ready. So all I need to do now is just to put it up on Facebook and wait for a buyer. I'm going to be listing this computer for about $1,500. I'll accept $1,400. If it does not sell within the first week, I'll probably accept $1,300 as well. I'm not sure the exact figure, but this will make me somewhere between $300 and $400 of profit, which is really nice. So I'm going to list this thing right now and I'll get back to you when it's up. So now that the computer is listed, there's not much else I can do. I'm waiting for some more parts to come in right now so I can do more builds. I'll probably sell this computer in episodes 3 or 4 because I plan to make these episodes weekly, and 2 weeks is about how long it usually takes for one of them to sell once I list it. I focused almost entirely on just one computer this episode, so what I'd like to do is give a little sneak peek for what I'm going to be doing in the next episode. So I've got this RX 6800 XT right here, which I pulled out of the original build from this system, and I'm going to be actually building with this in the next episode. So I'll be making another attempt to sell an AMD graphics card to a market of people who don't know anything about AMD graphics cards. I am excited to see how it will turn out, but that's something that I'm going to have to leave for the next episode. So I'd like to say a huge thank you to you for making it to the end. I really appreciate it. And like I said in the last episode, if you're interested in becoming a PC flipper yourself, or if you already are but you don't have that much experience, or if you just want another YouTuber to watch, then I would appreciate it if you would subscribe, because like I said, I'll be making these videos weekly. And once I start getting better at making YouTube videos, I'm going to start making informative content which will teach you everything you need to know to become an expert PC flipper yourself from my hundreds of hours experience learning and doing this myself. I've got some big things planned for this channel, so if you'd like to stick around, again, I really appreciate that. That's all I have today, so thanks for watching.